No, we had a chance to watch the video, and not a lot has changed. A lot of things we thought happened, both sides of the ball. Some things we have to clean up. I mean, obviously, starting with the penalties, good things that came out from the game. Whenever you can get through a preseason game without any serious injuries, that's a good thing also. Some of your questions you're going to ask, how much will certain guys play this week? We don't know that. And how we're handling this week is we have preseason games, but it's still in a training camp mode for us. So we're not going to start game playing in the Rams until a little bit later on. Tomorrow we have a typical training camp, offense, defense, good on good day, and excited about that. There's a lot of things that, as I said earlier, that we need to get accomplished. Take your question.
When y'all had 4 preseason games, usually week 3 was like a regular season mode, if you will. Do you take that approach for this one since this is your next to last, or is it? How do you view that?
Yeah, I think it's a little early to talk about that. I mean, we have a plan, I'll say that, on how we're going to play our guys. But, again, right now we're kind of, still training camp mode a little bit. Our guys that will be playing for the season, most of them will get an extensive amount of time with one of the games.
After watching Eric Murray, Jonathan Owens again on the tape, where do you think they are in their progression?
You said Eric Murray and Jonathan Owens. Talk about them individually. Eric's been around here. He's played a lot of ball. He's been watching practices. He's been working with our second unit for the most part. Jonathan Owens has been working with our 1 unit for the most part. The reason why we have them in those positions. We like both of them. Both of them bring something a little bit different to the table. Feel like we have some other guys. Terrence Brooks has stood out in training camp practice at the safety position too. And of course, we've talked quite a bit about Petrie.
What is it in particular, what do you call first about Petrie that allowed him to establish himself early on?
A few things. You start talking to him right away, knowledge of the game. And you do, when you have young players coming in, new players coming in, you look at their history and some of the things that he's done, and you want to confirm some of your thoughts. And we're able to do that early on. And, again, every day we've been out there with him, there's something he's gotten that we like. For all our young players, though, if you talk to Jalen, what he's going to tell you is that, wrapping up on some of the tackles. We have young players that's never really done anything live yet. You kind of anticipate that a little bit. But he should take another jump, we think, in the second preseason game. Being vanilla, I think, okay, for the most part. Things we put an emphasis on. We put an emphasis on takeaways. We have a goal of 3 each game. We were able to get that. We didn't score a touchdown. Third downs weren't as good as we would like, but I thought the guys played hard throughout too. Effort, what we were looking for. And the situational football, 2 minute, we had to get them stopped at the end to get a ball back for our offense. Defensively, we were able to do that. Pass rush. When you have certain guys that get reps that haven't played a lot. Of course, Obo, we traded for him, and he's been a good football player in the league. But Derek Rivers, I like some of the pressure we're able to get with our defensive line.
Lovie, when you look at a guy like Tremon Smith, what he's able to do on special teams, but his ability to read and react, especially to get the takeaway, what have you seen from him in his development as a corner?
Opportunities that he got last year in those situations, I thought he kind of stepped up a little bit. But he will be our returner. That, along with being able to do something else, gives us flexibility. You still want to see guys make plays. We know when he gets the ball, he knows what to do with it. So it's good to see him handle that. Same thing with Desmond King. As you look with what he's able to do. Punt returner. He can play the nickel position. He can play the corner position. You need a few guys on your roster that can do multiple things.
On Saturday that you don't get many times in practice to get like a game time situation. Are there things that you'd like to see with the first team to, with Mills and pushing the ball downfield, and how do you do that and weigh it based on what you put out there?
Well, for some positions that's the case, but for some others that's not the case. So the plan that we had for Mills last week, the plan that we wanted him to have, what we got from that, it's just not about, as you're putting your roster together, it's just, if you knew that all the guys at the one position would play that way all year, that would be great. But that's not the case. So you're developing your entire roster, and you use these preseason games to do that. I like exactly how that turned out. To get your third team guys listed at third team as your third team quarterback, all of those reps. We'll get Davis his reps. He'll be fine.
Did you hope for from John Bernard his first football game back?
We wanted, yes. Jonathan finished the season injured, and he's healthy. So we wanted to get him a few reps. And that's the case for our guys that we feel pretty comfortable with, and we know what their role would be. I don't have to see them all throughout the preseason to feel comfortable. We don't have to see that to feel comfortable with that. So Jonathan may get a few more plays this week, like a couple of our other players.
How difficult is that unit on the defensive line, making it for you to cut down to who you want?
You want that to happen, and back to like Derek Rivers, guys that haven't gotten a lot of reps when they lights come on, they really perform that way. But on the defensive line, we need a lot of guys. We need about 10 that we feel comfortable with this time right now, 10 or 11. The more the better. We know that Jonathan would be one of those players. Jerry Hughes, I could give you a few of the guys, but Malik Collins and some of them. But again, we're still trying to develop that 53. No, we're trying to develop that 69. No, we got an international player, right? How about that 70-man roster is what we're trying to develop.
Does that help, knowing that you can have him as a bonus?
It does. And talking about Dale, everybody in here know how to pronounce his name? No, I can answer it right now. You don't. But think about number 75, right? About 25 seconds left to go in the game. Where was he? Who was watching the game? Where was Dale?
Backfield.
He was on a kickoff team that ran down, that forced the action to inside of the 20-yard line. And then, of course, we got a sack after that. So these are the things that you love that I'm looking for from training camp players. Most of us don't know their names, and they're making plays, and we're seeing improvement from them.
Coach, with one less preseason game, do you all stress the importance to some of these guys who may in the back of their mind think that they're on the bubble, that the next two games would definitely be important to put something on tape?
Well, no, I don't think we have to. The guys aren't surprised about anything that we do. That's what I'm going to say. First day, we gave them a printout of everything that we're going to do, how we're going to do it, so that's not a surprise. And players know that, we have 91 players right now on our roster. They realize exactly what they need to do with all of their reps. There's no surprises on what they need to do daily as they come into the building, competing for a job throughout, and that's what we've seen from the guys.
How likely is it that Derek Stingley will play in this preseason game coming up?
How likely? Percentage? Like 35 or 36, 59 or 60. Help me out a little bit. I understand you. I'm just messing with you a little bit. Derek needs to play this preseason. True enough. But a little bit later on, like after Tuesday's practice, we get a little closer to L.A., we'll talk about who's going to play then. Right now, I know that Derek's going to scrimmage tomorrow, and we're excited about seeing him continue to get better daily, which he's doing, getting more and more comfortable each day. But a little bit later on in the week, we'll let you know our ideas, our plans for how we're going to play our guys this second preseason game.
You've mentioned Derek Rivers a couple of times. In what ways has he perhaps maybe changed your perspective, or what stood out most?
Well, I wouldn't say that he's changed it that much. I'll go back to the Jacksonville game last year. We had a lot of injuries, and Derek stepped up, and we like what he's got. Excellent speed. You look at him, he's our profile that we're looking for on the outside. And if you put defensive end behind your name, you need to be able to rush the passer here. And he showed up throughout, and that's what he's been doing in training camp. So, again, you cannot ever have too many pass rushing.
Lovie, kind of going off of Sarge's question, with it being one less game and with you now going to your 13, does your philosophy change on how many reps you give to starters, or how many, if you're going to play them for a quarter? Does any of that change from what you did?
No, it hasn't changed on how, as we went into preseason, we had a plan that we're going with on how we were going to play everybody and how many reps for the most part they were going to get. Injuries are the only thing that kind of knock us off track a little bit with that. And that's not really knocking us off track, because you get a chance to see somebody that maybe wasn't in those plans. And again, keep in mind, practices, preseason game, that's all a part of the plan to get ready for the regular season. You look throughout the league, some players aren't going to play any. And so maybe some of we have a few players that may not play any throughout. So just don't, it's just not a given. I'm not saying everybody on our roster is going to play this preseason. That may not be the case. We'll keep you posted as it goes along. Fair enough? Thank you.
Thanks.
You can take us through your touchdown and kind of went through your mind as you're celebrating afterwards.
Yeah. So I think that was definitely my first play in the game. So I was, anxious, waiting to get in the game the whole time. They called my number, I went in the game, and the first play call was actually both fades. So, I knew the opportunity was there. The quarterback threw a great ball, and I just tried to make a play for him. And then afterwards, I think all the guys in the receiver room decided that, the very first touchdown that we had was going to be the crane celebration for Metchie, for everything that he's going through, and just pay homage.
Was there something about the celebration? Or is anybody,
Say that again?
has anybody heard from him about what the celebration meant?
Oh, yes, sir. It was all good feedback. We talked after the game, and he was just appreciative. And, we're obviously appreciative of him and everything he's done these past couple months and the fight that he has going on right now.
Was it kind of a spur of the moment thing, or did you kind of have in mind to do?
The celebration? It was actually, we all the receivers actually planned it this past week that, the very first receiver to score a touchdown was going to do that celebration to pay respects.
What did John say? Did you do it right? Was it up in his head?
He didn't critique it. I don't think I did it as well as he does it. But I think, he was definitely appreciative of it. And I think we exchanged words on Instagram and text messages as well.
Is that something you guys are going to keep doing throughout the season? To honor Metchie?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
What were some of the things that you worked on in the off season to coming into training camp?
I would say probably just getting more in depth in the playbook. Of course, once you know the playbook's in and out, you'll be able to go out there and play faster. So that was one of the things I wanted to do. I don't think you can ever get faster or fast enough. So speed was another thing that I wanted to work on, route running, and just the basic ball skills.
How would you evaluate your first game?
How I evaluated? I think it was pretty good. I think it was a pretty good game. I think that they always say it's never as good as you think it is, and it's never as bad as you think it is. So just after watching the film yesterday on the off day, I think there was some things that definitely need to be cleaned up. I think I did some good things, and I think there was also some things that I need to clean up for sure.
What was that wide receiver room like?
different skill sets, different inputs. How do you guys play off each other? How do you guys work together to get?
I think the room is awesome. With our leader B Cooks and Conley, I think that our veteran leadership that we have in there is awesome. Definitely for young guys like me. Just looking up to them, and those guys are always doing the right thing. So you have great guys to look up to, and how to maneuver throughout this training camp, OTAs, all this kind of thing. So and I think they were all kind of different in a certain aspect of it. So just looking at each person and picking little things off and trying to turn it into your thing.
Taylor, you worked your way through practice squads and also with the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Too. What are the things that you take most from that journey up to this point? You got a chance to start last year.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reflect on?
Reflect on it's probably just taking it day by day, honestly. Not getting too far in the future and definitely not looking in the past. Just focusing on each day and each opportunity that you have in front of you, and trying to make the most of it. It's definitely a tough business to be in. But you can't look at those things because those things get you sidetracked. So just taking every day, as an opportunity to get better.
Jalen, you were targeted, I think, 3 times on deep balls.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that your vertical speed is one of your biggest assets, and how does that help you translate to maybe finding a role on this roster?
Yes, I try to be as versatile as possible. I think speed is definitely one of my assets. But whether that be blocking, running routes, deep threat, whatever it is, for a guy like me, I'm just trying to, showcase everything that I have to showcase.
Does having familiarity both with Brandon Cooks and also Ben McDaniels being promoted to the wide receivers coach give you maybe a little bit more of an advantage of what you saw last season and what you want?
Yes, I would say so. Just having familiar faces in the room, knowing how every guy works, knowing how Ben works, and know what he expects of you, I think helps a lot. So you kind of know what's required of you every day once you step out there on that field.
Last couple.
Jalen, not to be the dead horse here, but going back to the celebration.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Metchie, rookies, still new to the team.
Yeah.
Why do you guys feel like it was important to kind of honor that Metchie?
I think just the obvious, man. It's just about everything that he's going through right now. Coming off that injury last season, and finally working his way to be able to play with us, and then, getting diagnosed with the cancer. And, I think that we all realize that what he's going through and what he's dealing with is kind of bigger than everything that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So we out here playing football, and he's dealing with, something way bigger than this. So just for us to do that little celebration was big for us to do.
How do y'all, day to day, kind of try to keep involved with a teammate that's going through something like that?
We just keep him in our prayers every day, and just reach out periodically, and just check in on him, make sure he still feels, as a part of this team, that he is still a part of this team. So just little things like that, and then of course the celebration helped as well, and we'll definitely try to continue to do that, just to pay homage for him because he's definitely still on our team and he's still with us.
Did he get a chance to watch the game? Did he get a chance to watch the game? Do you all know?
I believe so. Yes, sir. I think he enjoyed it, and to be able to have that win, it's definitely huge for us as well, and for him as well.
All right, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
We was in zone coverage, so Lovie preached eyes back on the quarterback, vision on the quarterback. So I got my good reroute on the number one and was able to get my eyes back, and I seen the ball pop up, and I was just breaking towards the ball as he preached.
Lovie said that you're their returner, you're y'all's returner. What do you think about that?
That just give me a lot of confidence coming from the head guy, and then just Lovie. I run through a brick wall for Lovie. He's a great coach and just a great guy in general.
How much do you enjoy doing that fashion?
I love it. That's what I pride myself on. One of the things I pride myself on is kick return, trying to jumpstart the offense anytime, you get some points on the board, and play hard for Frankie.
They punt return as well before halftime. How did you feel about that?
It was good. I feel like I could have set it up a little better, but I know just keep on practicing, and my guys continue blocking as hard as they do. I get in the end zone soon.
Lovie was saying after the interception, he's like, the return guy should get in the end zone. We'll have to work on that next week.
Oh yeah, he gonna be on me in meetings. I know that because he gonna tell me stop reversing fields and everything.
Did you know when you were reversing that, like, man?
Yeah, I heard him in the back of my head screaming, say, stay near sideline. So, yeah, he definitely clicked in my head.
As a corner, how do you feel like you've improved?
Just confidence in my game, patience, and just the second year being in the system, understanding what the defensive coordinator / head coach wants, just that helped my confidence rise a lot.
I know that it's just a preseason game, but can you talk about how at the end of the game, after the turnover, you all were able to stop them on defense and get the ball back for Jeff to be able to produce that game-winning drive?
It's big time. Anytime they take score, you want to win. So, we just pride ourselves on winning, and we know stacking these preseason games are leading to the regular season. So we just want a good jump start on the season.
Lovie's said multiple times that this preseason is huge for players who are trying to get more reps. For you pride yourself on being a special teamer, but be able to see more reps as a cornerback. Where do you see yourself really improving this year?
Like I said earlier, just the patience and just being in the scheme for the second year. I'm just real comfortable with the scheme. It's just I don't have to think about the little things as much anymore. Even though I detail the little things, it's just I know everything he wants and what we want from a corner on this defense.
Were you surprised?
Go ahead. You mentioned keeping your eyes on the quarterback, but still, feeling one and then seeing two. How do you finagle all of that and on the route to be able to get the interception? How do you finagle all that?
It's hard. It's not easy, and a lot of coaches don't preach this, but just being in this scheme, this zone scheme it helps a lot. Just because he want everybody breaking towards the ball, have more people towards the ball. So it's hard to work through, but like I said, going in my second year, I'm very comfortable with doing it.
Were you surprised what you've seen from rookie Jalen Petrie, and especially with his pursuit on the ball?
Not at all. I knew since the day he came in, and I watched his Baylor film that he was going to be a walk-in day one starter. Just because the way his work ethic, he's very smart. You'd think he going into year 3 and 4 how smart he is in the playbook, and he just really advanced to be a rookie.
Tremon, corner was a position Lovie highlighted in the offseason to improve on. I mean, they drafted there, they added there. How did you respond through that, seeing how they valued that and wanted to improve that position?
I liked it a lot. We got Stingley, we got a good corner out of it, so. It's competition in the room. Like, all of us can play going down from the first or to the last corner. We all can play ball out there. So it's just competition, really.
When you went back and watched the tape, what was some of the improvements that you feel like you can make going in the second preseason game?
Just be a little more physical on my reroutes, and just be more supportive in the run game.
Tremon, you talked about how having familiarity is really important for you in the year 2. How does it translate to the remainder of the defense, knowing that most of the defensive staff is back and not much has changed in terms of formation and how Lovie wants to run it?
It's real good for us because we all understand each other. Like I said, the little things earlier, we all understand those little things that the coaches want, and you just to be tight on it, and it works out well for us.
Lovie has a history of at least one season, one player per year having to take away for a touchdown. Have you guys talked about that? And if there's like a prize of it, which one of you players?
Yeah, we for sure got a couple prizes, and we argue about it each week. Me, Tavier, Dez King, we all say we're gonna get the first turnover for the touchdown. So it's real good competition, friendly competition. So I love it.
What's the prize?
Till we continue. Can't tell you yet.
You run through a wall for Lovie. Is there a story? Is there an interaction that you had with him that kind of gets you to the point where you are with him? Because we know his pedigree, been in the league for such a long time, his experience. But for you, your personal relationship.
It's just I really believe in what he preached because he's been around a bunch of Hall of Famer guys. Like in his meeting the other day, he put up probably like 10 to 12 Hall of Fame players he's been around. So it's like if he's been around that, he knows what it takes. So whatever he says, I know he won't steer me the wrong direction. And like I said, I will run through a wall for Lovie.
I know it's the other side of the ball, but what did it mean to you and your teammates to see the Jalen and the receivers celebrating the touchdown in honor of John Metchie?
It was real. It was heartwarming. I felt for him, and I just feel bad for Metchie. I wish he was out there playing with us because he would have been a big part of this season this year. But, as long as he'll be fine. I heard it's the most curable, so I just pray for him.
Like John only comes in for a couple months, but it seems like the reaction is everyone is very close and tight-knit with him. What does that say about the chemistry of the team for a player like that to make such an impact in such a short amount of time?
It just shows how close we are, how we've been grinding together, and just us grinding together. We just wanted to stay close, and that's one thing Lovie preaches. We got to do things together as a team. So we just try to stay close as possible and just do outside activities with each other. If it's going to eat dinner or just going to Coach House.
Last one.
How competitive are all of you all as far as defensive backs are concerned?
Oh, we're so competitive. Like we talk about our hands each day. Like just over anything. Playing Madden when we get home, it's just we compete at anything. Even go down to ping pong. So very competitive. I say I might have to give it to TT Tavier. Jalen Petrie, I heard so far. I'm the best at ping pong though.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all.
How did you feel about your game the other night?
I was happy with how I played. Of course, after evaluating the film, there's things to clean up. But I think if you looked at how the defense played, including myself and all the guys out there, it wasn't always perfect in terms of our assignments or technique. But everyone was flying around, getting to the ball. And I think that's a defense you want to play for, is a tenacious defense, because that's what's going to help you win football games.
Lovie says that you fit the profile of what he wants to do and what type of linebacker he's looking for in this defense. What does that mean to you?
It's always good to hear your head coach say good things about you. But I like what he said about never getting too high or never getting too low. It's also something that Miles says as well, linebacker coach, his son. And it's something that you got to carry yourself with through training camp in the preseason, because there's so much work to be done, no matter how well you're playing or not so good performances. But they're doing a great job of getting me coached up, teaching me a new defensive system that was pretty new to and unfamiliar with. But I'm having a lot of fun with this defense. I think there's a lot of opportunities for players to make plays, just because it allows guys to have quick keys and honestly play aggressive, which I think fits my strengths and skill sets.
Was pass coverage something that you wanted to work on more in the off season? Because we've seen you during training camp, you're able to get into be able to bat down balls, and then even in the game they tried to float a 26-yarder over your head, but you were able to defend that as well. Was pass coverage something that you've been working on?
Yeah, and honestly, to get more specific with that question, like something we've been working on, just route recognition, especially at the Mike linebacker spot in this defense. You got to be able to jump routes, read 3-step or 5-step on the quarterback's drop. So that's something that I took a lot of ownership in, because watching the film from guys that were here last year in practice or games, they're able to get their hands on a lot of balls or make plays by just understanding the quarterback's drop and then the release of a receiver, a tight end, and that would kind of give them an idea of what kind of route combination would be ran. So makes it a lot of fun to play in defense when you can get quick reads.
Like when you look at a guy like Lovie Smith, who's coached linebackers for years, several high-profile games, what is it with you learning underneath him? And Tremon said that he would run through a wall for a guy like Lovie Smith. What does that say about the defense and how he's letting players coach?
Yeah, I mean, Tremon's right. I think when you have a great head coach, the team kind of takes the personality of his head coach. And Lovie's done an awesome job with me, with our team. I think just based off from conversations I've had with people, I feel like there's a lot of great new energy in the building. And, it's an honor to be coached by someone, because in my eyes, he's a legend. He's had a lot of great success. So it's not only an honor, but a privilege as well.
Texas is a team that's going through a rebuilding phase. What is the attitude like as far as not only in the defense room, but as a team as a whole?
Win now. I think the word rebuild, it's obviously something that people throw out there, and our team has been labeled with, but we're a hungry group. I think there's a lot of experience on this football team, and it's guys that want to win. I mean, my first day here, walking in this locker room, I was honestly blown away by how professional everyone was, and how bought in this team was. So that's everyone in this building. So you got a good thing started when you kind of have that culture forming, and it's forming early. when you got a rebuild or a new head coach. So I'm excited to see what this football team can be, and how the season will turn out.
Like, I know it's the other side of the ball, but what did it mean to you and your teammates to see Jalen when he scored doing the celebration in honor of John?
I thought that was really cool. It was a special thing to do to honor him. I didn't even catch that until after the game, but I said something to him. I think that just shows how close this group is and how much we appreciate each other in this locker room.
From a mental state, obviously last year and previous year you dealt with injuries. Now you look healthy, you feel healthy. So mentally, where are you now?
I feel great. I got a lot of confidence in my body and how I can perform, and with this organization, something when I first came in to the building is the performance staff working with me every day, getting to know my body, getting to know how I work, how I operate, and just building a plan for me specifically, because everyone's body responds to things differently, recovers differently, and I give a lot of credit to them because my body has felt awesome since being here. I've done a lot of different things since being here, and they kind of took an outside approach on how to handle like the soft tissue injuries. So it's been great, and I got a lot of confidence in how they can help me going forward through the season.
Going back to the game on Saturday, what did it mean to the defensive unit to be able to, after Jeff threw the interception, you all were able to stop them, get the ball back for him, and then he went on the game-winning drive?
That's what it's all about. Just because it's a preseason game doesn't mean we don't want to win, and to be able to get the win and celebrate with your teammates after all the work we've been putting in this off season, all the work we've been putting in through training camp. We got a lot of new faces, a lot of rookies. It's exciting, and it's always good to start the preseason off like that. But that's what football's about. It's how you finish a game right there. There was no quit. No one was losing energy. And everyone kept playing. Like I said, being tenacious, getting to the ball, and everyone was taking advantage of opportunities to make plays.
Like, if you notice any changes in this defense, like compared to what you were learning last year, Jeff, especially with your phenomenal?
There's a lot of big differences. Just based off how they fit the runs here. Even matching up route concepts and zone coverage. But like I said earlier, I think it fits me really well, fits my strengths well. And the biggest thing is it gives a lot of opportunity for guys to make plays. And that's what every player wants. Everyone wants that opportunity to make the splash play, make the play that's on ESPN, and help change the game, be an X factor. So it's a great system, and I think with how much every player on this defense has bought into it, I think it can help us win games this season.
Although he missed the last couple of practices, what impression do you have of Christian Harris that you've seen so far?
Great kid, smart player. He's a champion on and off the field, honestly. And it's easy to say he's a good athlete, good football player, but he's a guy that's hungry and wants to win, wants to learn, wants to be a better football player. And from day one, he was acting like a second or third year vet in the league. Like he's been here, done that, and I think that's impressed a lot of people, and it's going to help have him a long, great career.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you guys.